I did not realize there was so much stuff inside of trees. Happy Harley Day, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to an all-new Crossin Streams. As always, I am your host, the real Geno Reynolds, and today we're going to continue our look at the DC Universe's Harley Quinn series. This time it's episode 11, entitled Harley Quinn Highway. When we last left off, Harley had learned that Poison Ivy had been captured. We know it's by Scarecrow, and Scarecrow plans on harvesting her. We do find out what that means in this episode. Harley goes and scopes out the base of operations of Scarecrow, but the goons are on the everyone shoots at the same time guarding method. So she needs some help. So of course, she has to go get her team back. While none of them really want to help her, with Ivy being captured, they're willing to help Ivy. So they do help Harley, but they're like, we're not getting back together with you. So they all go and they break in to the Scarecrow's base, and they find Ivy, but what Dr. Crane, what Scarecrow has done, is he has harvested her pheromones and was able to make a fear toxin that would actually work on Ivy. And so he's got her freaked out right now. So like in an earlier episode, Dr. Psycho is going to take everyone inside of Ivy's brain this time, and they have to find what her fear is and destroy it. So when they go in there, they deal with a few different things, and they find out what the fear is, and then which we don't exactly find out what it is, what it means until near the end. But they face off against the Grim Reaper, which ends up being Harley in the robes, and Harley has Clayface turn into a bat, and she beats the ever-loving crap out of this Harley death figure. So she wonders why that she is Ivy's biggest fear. So they rescue Ivy, but Scarecrow is going to take this toxin and spread it out over Gotham. That's his major plan. They also find out that it's not only Scarecrow behind this whole thing, but the Legion of Doom is behind it as well, and Harley is not very happy. So they go after Scarecrow, and this is a callback to another episode when Harley threatened to nuke the city. They let her build a highway, and she actually got to design it. That's why this episode's called Harley Quinn Highway. We finally get to see the highway, and it's basically like something you would see out of a Hot Wheels track. And she's like, yeah, they let me design it. I'm kind of regretting it now. So they have this big adventure on this track, and their car just so happens to be Cyborgman. He can transform into a car, which was like some secret experiment he went through. So as they're fighting the bad guys, Harley talks with Ivy, and she tells her, it's like, I had, just one friend in this world, and even you betrayed me. And Harley comes to a realization still that she's been very selfish. She's like, that's the old me. I'm going to change. And they do, for a moment, stop Scarecrow. But Scarecrow ends up driving off of the bridge and landing in the water. And the toxin has been spread into the water, into a lake, and hence into the Gotham's water supply. And it starts turning the plants crazy, and they start devouring people. And again, we're left on another cliffhanger. I really enjoyed this episode. I will have to say, though, this probably is the most violent episode that we've had of this series so far. I mean, especially when they go into Ivy's brain, these trees start getting munched. And they're bleeding all over the place, and it covers the whole screen with blood like an old horror movie, like a Sam Raimi horror movie or something. And so it is definitely a very violent episode. There's so much blood in this episode. I really enjoyed seeing what the other characters were up to after they had left Harley. Clayface is working for the Riddler, and that's some really funny stuff because he keeps interrupting the Riddler as he's doing a live broadcast trying to give Batman a riddle. Dr. Psycho is just he's being a psychic, and he ruins a marriage. And King Shark is also involved in that storyline because he's hacking into a computer for a character that's involved with the two people that Dr. Psycho's talking to. I like that, they're playing on the friendship with this episode of Harley and Ivy, and that the friendship really meant that much to her. I also liked that they're showing that they got the Legion of Doom involved in this whole thing. And of course, they find out they're involved because they see a recycle bin in Scarecrow's base that says Legion of Doom on it, and Ivy's is like, at least they're recycling. So I like that they're getting the Legion of Doom involved. That way they're going to have Harley face off against the Legion of Doom, which would probably be some fun. And she, of course, that means she's going to have to face off against the Joker. The episode did get a little political at the first, but in a very funny way, about gun violence, which they have these two guards say, "Don't worry, without a plant." Because Ivy tries to make an escape at the first, and she's almost successful. And the two guards come in. They said, "Well, as long as she doesn't have a plant, she's just a helpless girl." And she's like, "Hey, idiots! I still have two hands and this gun," and shoots them. And she's like, "I support gun rights, but you have to have good, good background checks and stuff like that." So they play a little bit in the political game in this one, but all in all, it was a really fun episode. And also some great character development for Ivy and for Harley. And I like, again, that they're setting up Harley and her crew versus the Legion of Doom, and that should be some fun. So anyway, yeah, it was a really good episode, and I really enjoyed it. So anyway, that's going to be all for this edition of Crossin Streams. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Geno YouTube channel, like this video. If you have anything to say about the Harley Quinn DC Universe series or the episode Harley Quinn Highway, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I am your host, the Real Geno, Geno Reynolds. Happy Harley Day, and see you later, puddins.